Howdy. How's everybody out there today? And we're all getting through it, aren't we? We're all getting through this sort of lockdown thing. Some places are easing it a little bit. Now, I'm still going to work at the building site. There's not very many there, and we keep separate all the time and work in separate areas and get our temperatures taken all the time before we go in. So it's reasonably safe, and at least I'm still earning money. But for some people, they're told not to go out and all that, and obviously they don't go to work because of it. It's all very well the government saying stay in, but who's going to feed them? I mean, send them a check for Christ's sake. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and he hasn't worked for a long time now because of it, and he's a bit concerned about his financial situation. And I knew this about the UK. Once these sort of laws come in for the police to be able to do what they're doing, it's going to be hard for them to relinquish that power. And I've just heard that the lockdown will be going on longer, and I would imagine that in UK it will probably be the longest lockdown of all the countries in the world, because that's just how England is. They can't let go of the power, and the people are so reserved they don't revolt. Anyway, I haven't been on the internet too much. That's why I haven't made any real videos, because just the one thing, everything's about it. There's no other news, no other things going on. There's a few bickering things going on and some drama, but no real news as such or anything going on. The internet's become rather a really boring place where people are just complaining or anything. It's not an uplifting place. Everybody's saying everything's black and everything. So that's why I stay away from the media, and the internet on the media for, just for a while be good for me, I think. But they're still pushing the narratives all the time, the media, even in this country. And I used to look at a sort of a paper, and it's also online, which is the Argus, and it's sort of the local news for the town that you're in. And they never really went woke or anything. They were still giving news of the local area, which sometimes is, nice to sort of read. But even they have actually started to go for the narrative and pushing a narrative. And this is what really annoys me. Okay, so how many female airline pilots are there? And how many male airline pilots are there? Okay, so there is a few airline pilots, female. But as opposed to the males, I should imagine it's a very small number. And it's getting bigger, of course, but it's very small number. But anytime they talk about airline pilots in general, they'll use a female airline pilot picture. You know what I mean? They've also started to do that with football or soccer here. When they're talking about soccer players in general, they'll find a female and show that picture. And it's really just fakery, because most people don't really go watch female soccer players because they're just not too exciting to watch. Maybe they enjoy playing it, but they're just not exciting to watch to a lot of people. But the media can't help itself by pushing the old narrative. So there was a story in the Argus today about a man had been shot, and they showed a picture of a female police officer all gung-hoed up, with a machine gun type or whatever, and, the sort of thing you don't normally see, obviously. There was probably one there, and they picked that one out. And she's probably a female that is not the females I used to know. She was probably swaying a little bit towards the other way, because many females don't really like guns and they don't really want to go around shooting people. But what they're trying to do, and I think it's probably to the younger people they're trying to do, is they're trying to push that they've always been like shooting and killing people and in the police force, in the squad of the guns and everything else. But they haven't been, and we all know that. So it's pushing a fake narrative again. And I know you people out there aren't stupid, so I know you've noticed it as well, haven't you? And it's really, really annoying. If they talk about the bus drivers and transportation in town, they have to find a female to take a picture of. Or the same goes for trucking. They have to find a female trucker, who take a picture of them. As if the men haven't done anything and don't do trucking, really. They've been doing it for many, many, many years. And it was usually all men, because women didn't want to do it. And they still haven't quite found, when they're talking about the refuge and the garbage collectors, they still seem to have taken a picture of a guy, because they can't find a picture of a female, because they don't want to do that job, do they? So here's something I'd like to run by you that I kind of thought in my head and seen proof of, and that is that women wanted equality to get into these male jobs because the male jobs seemed to pay more. Some of them a lot more, and women wanted the money. What else? But what females didn't realize is they got that money because they had to do very hard work, long hours. And these jobs weren't as glamorous as the females thought they were. They thought, sure, just dress up, be there, it'll be all glamorous and stuff. But no, it's work. Some of it is boring. Some of it's repetitive. They found out they don't give these men more money because they sit on their asses. A lot of women have found this out, and I've seen some female bus drivers that are only on for a short while and then they kind of like disappear because they find out that being a bus driver is quite laborious, quite boring, and dealing with the public every day can be quite stressful. They can be unsociable hours as shifts as well. A fireperson was really cool and it was really trendy. But these firemen have to cut people who are dying or dead out of cars as well, or trying to save them in some way. It's not a great, fantastic job like females thought it was. And you have to be really fit as well. I had a friend who was in the fire brigade. He gave it up because he was cutting too many people out of cars, and it kind of affected him in the evenings when he went home. Maybe as these females thought they could just turn up, dress up in the outfit, and they would just get paid. For those females who tried the job and found it far too hard and too strenuous for them and decided to take an easier job, welcome to equality, to the real world. Now this may or may not be true, but I heard that Sweden is basically life is normal there. So I heard. So why aren't they having all this lockdown stuff? So anyway, all I can tell you that in the UK the lockdowns are still on and seems to be being enforced more vigorously with fines, of course, because they gotta make money, right? You can't make money, they won't let you, but they'll take some of the money you have off you. No problem. All I can say is this isn't the English people in the World War II. I've known many people in World War II, and the stories they used to tell me, and my father used to tell me as well. And these people are a little bit on the controlled side. They're not really the UK people left anymore. They just seem to be just accept what the government tells them and they do it. I mean, really. So what are we going to find? It's going to find that people haven't come out of their house for 2 weeks and they finally go in there and they're dead, starved to death. Come on. So anyway, Saturday I ordered a pizza. I thought, I'll order a pizza, a fancy one. And I ordered it from Papa John's because they used to be really good, but now it's an iffy. Sometimes you get a good one, sometimes you don't now. Everything has gone bad, isn't it? So I ordered it and I thought at least I don't have to give a tip because they'll just leave it outside the door or whatever. No. There's a place beside the box for the tip, apparently, when you get it. Anyway, I hope you people are really doing all right, and that hope you're not going to the cabin fever or going cabin crazy. And we're allowed to actually go out once a day to exercise, obviously without anybody else, of course. And of course you're allowed to go out because if you've got a dog, you've got to take it for a walk. And to do necessary shopping. And what happened once or twice was that the police were outside the grocery store here in this country and checking people's bags if they come out to see that it's essential shopping. Can you believe that? How do they know what's essential shopping is? Really, anyway, they got reprimanded for that. But that just shows you the slippery slope, because these things will happen more often if it goes on longer, until you may need a special car to carry with you. Oh, I wonder what country has that. Oh, yeah. Hell, I might even get a dog just so I can go out with the dog. It'll have to be a black Labrador, though. That's the only dog on the planet as far as I'm concerned. And here's a little trick you can try. I've got a few clothes that I bought for fancy dress stuff for some of my videos. So what I could do is I could go for a walk as me and then dress up in something and go for a walk again. I might get away with that. What do you think? That's a damn good idea. And here's a tip. You can change the money, of course, but traffic cameras about the bus lane. If the cars are in the bus lane, obviously they get taken a picture of and fined. They make £20,000 a month. Jesus. I guess I'm in the wrong business. Take it easy now. It's true.